Good evening, I'm Lady Naa Stephens and you're watching Chrysolite TV, bringing you breaking news on today's top story: a dramatic and shocking attempt on the life of former President Donald Trump this afternoon. As the former president played golf at his West Palm Beach club, a gunman with a history of violent crimes sought to assassinate him, marking a chilling escalation just 2 months after a previous attempt on Trump's life. Here's a detailed look into the developing situation. The Gunman and His Past authorities have identified the suspect as Ryan Wesley Routh, a 58-year-old man with a criminal record that stretches back over 2 decades. According to law enforcement sources, Routh was convicted in 2002 for possessing a weapon of mass destruction, specifically a machine gun. This earlier conviction followed a dramatic 3-hour standoff with law enforcement at a roofing company in Greensboro, North Carolina, where Routh had barricaded himself after being pulled over by the police. The suspect's troubled past raises significant questions about his motivations and potential connections to the 2 assassination attempts targeting the former president. The assassination attempt unfolds. This most recent incident occurred at Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach. Secret Service agents, who were patrolling the course, spotted Routh between 300 to 500 yards away from the former president. Hidden near the property's fence, the suspect had positioned himself in the bushes, armed with an AK-47 style rifle equipped with a targeting scope. Additionally, a GoPro camera and a backpack were discovered near the rifle, suggesting that Routh may have planned to document his actions as he targeted Trump. Despite the severity of the situation, the gunman was spotted before he could carry out his intended attack. After a brief encounter with authorities, Routh fled the scene in a black Nissan SUV. A witness had seen him emerge from the bushes and provided law enforcement with a photograph of the vehicle. This quick-thinking action by the witness enabled law enforcement to track and apprehend Routh roughly 45 minutes later, as he drove northbound on Interstate 95 into Martin County. Law enforcement response: in a press conference held this afternoon, Martin County Sheriff William D. Snyder confirmed that Routh was apprehended without a weapon in his possession and showed little emotion as he was taken into custody. The rifle and other items were left behind at the scene, allowing authorities to secure critical evidence, including the GoPro camera, which may hold footage that reveals more about the suspect's intentions. Motive still unclear at this time. Routh's motive for the attack remains under investigation. Officials are working tirelessly to uncover whether this was a coordinated effort or the actions of a lone individual. Sheriff Snyder told reporters that the suspect did not provide any immediate explanation for his actions and remained largely emotionless during his arrest. Evidence and investigation photographs of the evidence recovered from the scene were displayed during the press conference, showing the AK-47 style rifle, targeting scope, and other items used in the attempted assassination. Authorities are now combing through the footage from the GoPro camera and other materials in an attempt to piece together Routh's plans and his connections, if any, to previous threats made against the former president. While details about whether any shots were fired during the encounter remain unclear, it is evident that the quick response from the Secret Service and other law enforcement agencies prevented a potential tragedy from unfolding. A second attempt on Trump's life. This assassination attempt comes just 2 months after another incident left Trump injured, bleeding from the ear. The fact that such attempts have occurred in such a short span of time has heightened concerns over the former president's security, particularly as the 2024 election season ramps up. Conclusion: as the investigation continues, authorities are working around the clock to determine the full extent of this plot and to ensure that no further threats to the former president's life are imminent. Ryan Wesley Routh, who is now in custody, will likely face a series of serious charges, including attempted assassination and weapons-related offenses. Stay with us here at Chrysolite TV as we continue to monitor this developing story. I'm Lady Naa Stephens, and you've been watching Chrysolite TV, where we bring you the news that matters, backed by thorough reporting and insightful analysis. Stay tuned for further updates.